Welcome back. The news in details. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi instructed to provide efficient heavy agricultural equipment for the winter season to achieve the highest production rates from the reclamation areas across the nation. President al-Sisi also ordered to boost the state's efforts to upgrade the agricultural sector with the aim of reaching self-sufficiency of strategic crops and providing job opportunities in all domains, as well as establishing productive and industrial communities. The President's remarks came during his meeting on Monday with the Presidential Advisor for Urban Planning, the head of the Armed Forces Engineering Authority, and a number of concerned officials. The meeting reviewed progress report of several national projects for land reclamation, especially in Tushka, in the Southern Valley, and infrastructure projects for road networks and water treatment plants. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi pardoned Ziad al-Alaimi as a response to calls by political parties and powers, in addition to coordination of the party's youth and politicians and Presidential Pardon Committee. The decision comes as a continuation of the President's call to activate the Presidential Pardon Committee task. A second session of the Economic Conference, Egypt 2022, was held on Monday entitled International Funding and Support to the Private Sector, Opportunities and Horizons. The session draws attention to economic reforms which aim at increasing investments by both private and public sectors, with the indispensable role of the international partners in supporting these reforms. Minister of International Cooperation Rania Mashad said under-implementation projects include projects that are receiving $23 billion in International Development Fund, with $7 billion of these funds going to the private sector. The minister added that several packages were adopted by the government to support the private sector, pointing out to the launch of a framework for international cooperation and development funding in 2020. In a remark at the second session of Monday's proceedings, Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli said the state is interested in expanding mega national projects in partnership with the private sector, mainly in green and renewable energy. He also asserted that the state assists the private sector receive loans from international institutions to implement these projects. Two loud blasts were heard across the Syrian capital Damascus on Monday, and Syrian state media said they could have been caused by an Israeli attack. If that was confirmed, they would be a rare example of strikes during the daytime in Syria, where Israel usually strikes military installations under the cover of darkness. Israel has been carrying out strikes for years against what it has described as Iranian and Iran-backed targets in Syria, where Tehran has deployed forces in support of President Bashar al-Assad since the Syrian war began in 2011.